Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's Mose here again from MVRugby. And yeah, we're talking round three URC this weekend. Um, Played off yesterday. Some fantastic games that happened there. And oh my word, can you believe it? All wins all round for the South African teams, the Lions, the Bulls, the Sharks, and the Stormers. But very different games played here. The Lions absolutely ran away with their opponents. So the Bulls also did quite an emphatic win over their opponents, Ulster, I think. And yeah, then the Sharks, very hard fought match, and the Stormers against Zebra. Um, yeah, all I can say there is basically just a very uneventful kind of match. Zebra did show their hand quite a bit early on that they've got very strong defense, but unfortunately not too well in attack moves. But yeah, a lot to look forward to coming up around four next week as well. So let's get to it. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Lions versus Edinburgh, and oh my word, it was a walkover for the entirety of the first half. The Lions running away with 48 points to zero by the time they actually went off for half time. It was an absolute absolute walkover fest. Basically, Hamba really playing his part in converting those tries. Edinburgh only scoring about 3 tries in the second half, coming back up to taking their tally up about 21 points. Not quite making the bonus point though. Lions running away with 55 points to 21 at the end of that game. So yeah, the yellow card to Pullman didn't quite have too much of an influence there, but it did see the Harrison and Munster. Muncaster, excuse me, not the entire team, but Muncaster basically scoring 2 tries right sort of before the end whistle. And yeah, it's not really a game that Edinburgh really would want to experience again or repeat this season. But yeah, they tried their best. They did. It was just outplayed, to be quite honest. They tried their best. They put up a strong defense, but first half they just couldn't find the groove. The Lions was running circles around these guys. It happens. Unfortunately, I don't know if maybe Edinburgh had a bit of an off day, but the Lions absolutely brought their A game. Nothing compared to that. Absolutely no argument there. Probably the best team of this weekend, really. The Bulls versus Ulster. Final score about 47-21. Bulls also dominated right from the beginning. Ended the first half with 21 points to 7. It was a mixed bag, really. Bulls having, I think it was Chamberlain that really opened the floodgates for the Bulls here. I think scored about 3 tries in that game. And then Creel scoring about two tries as well. Brother, of course, of Jesse Creel, renowned Springbok player. So Bulls really made themselves proud again this weekend. Kenan Moody scoring 1 try, another try scored by Kurtley Arendse as well. So they absolutely made their name. Corey Barrett getting a yellow card right about the 30th minute in the first half also didn't do Ulster a lot of favours. 3 tries by the Bulls before halftime, then followed that up by by 4 tries in the second half. 2 tries then scored by Ulster in the second half, which brought the Pretoria about 47-21. So they unfortunately, just fell short of their bonus point, where Bulls walk away comfortably with a bonus point on that one. The Sharks versus the Dragons. Now, this was probably the hardest fought match of the weekend. The Sharks basically, battling for every point. So, as the same for the Dragons, and not really giving them a lot of leeway. The Dragons keeping the pressure on quite tight for the Sharks that entire game. Both teams fighting very hard for it. Absolutely. Finter getting a yellow card in the 9th minute. Didn't quite help the Sharks' position. Just had playing that much harder. Jenkins then getting a yellow card in the 62nd minute. Again, making life very difficult for the Sharks in this game. Then Masuku and Evans basically scoring most of the points through their conversions and penalty goals. The Sharks scoring a winning try. Now this was absolutely amazing, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what happened. I mean, there was about 13 to 14 phases into overtime, into injury time. Really, about 84 minutes. Of this game going into overtime, where the Sharks constantly hammering the Dragons side, trying desperately to score that winning try, and finally it comes to them in the form of Mbata, just finding that gap in the last, desperate couple of minutes of injury time, bolstering through, and then scoring a wonderful try for the Sharks underneath the poles, making Masuku's, no, it wasn't Masuku, it was actually Lionel Cronje, making his job quite easy for converting that last try, ending up 33-30 for the Sharks versus Dragons. So 3-point gap between the two. Absolute fantastic rugby, tight game, very kind of edge of your seat stuff there. Especially Lorenzo Julius also showing us exactly why he is known as the boogeyman, Baba Yaga of the rugby field. So absolutely wonderful game, exceptional action, and making it for great entertainment in this weekend's rugby. The Stormers versus Zebra, not really. How can I put it? Not really the kind of exciting stuff that we will be wanting at any point. They fought hard for their points. Zebra showing us exactly how much improvement they've made on their defense, not really letting the Stormers get through. Stormers scoring most of their tries in the second half. First try was scored by Leland Zaz right at the end of the first half. In the 40th minute, so then converted. So it was a hard-fought game, I think, for both teams. Yuri Matia basically dominating the points, only scoring 9 points in penalty goals for the Stormers in the first half. Then, lucky for Leland Zaz, making that gap in the last minute. The second half started off quite a bit better. Hudson-Berg scoring a first try, that followed up by another try by Leland Zaz, and then a final try by Angelo Davids. Each basically scoring very hard fought, strong tries. So definitely, Zebra didn't make it extremely easy for them. So yeah. Rizzoli getting a yellow card in the second half also didn't do the Italians a lot of justice or showing them any favors, really. But they did manage to get a Gessie, the number 11 winger, basically scoring a beautiful try, I think in the 62nd minute of the game for the Italians. Fantastic up and over kick by him, following it up, strongly running, retrieving his own kick, and then scoring the try underneath the poles for Zebra, ready to be converted by their fly off. And yeah, bringing an end to a very hard fought, but yet not very eventful game for the Stormers against Zebra. And we're hoping to see a bit more improvement in the games coming into the round 4 for the URC this coming weekend. Um, until then, guys, keep the beers on ice as always. Always happy to hear from you guys. Give me your comments. Any kind of ideas for the channel if you want. Ideas for maybe some formats that I can look into. If you have an idea for sound, or maybe keep putting on some you know extra kind of features that I can put into the game. But signing out today by looking at that absolutely hard fought try by the Sharks in going into overtime against their opponent, the Dragons. Absolutely riveting stuff and some fantastic entertainment they had this weekend in rugby. But without further ado, let's have a look at that clip, and that'll be me as well. I'll be signing off after that one, and yeah, have a good week, guys. I'll be seeing you this coming weekend in the world of rugby. Peace out.
Yeah. Okay, scrum thought. So Ben.
Statement of intent, this. So there's the warning. The next one will go to the bin. We've only got a second left. The clock is ticked into the red.
So this is a big call from the Sharks. They won the last 2 lineouts, penalty against the Dragons both times.
Yep.
They've gone for the scrum, which means they're going to keep it in there.
And now listen to the roar as the cries of Dragons, Dragons reverberates around this glorious old stadium in the heart of Newport. 30-26 to the Dragons. Only a try will do for the Sharks.
Andrew Brace will have to be super confident if he's going to give penalties now. That is the right call.
Yeah. So you talk about pressure on those front rows. There's pressure on the ref too. You're absolutely right.
I agree, but then you're coming back counteracting that, okay? So both meet in the middle, okay? It's been really good.
So there's Brodie Coughlin in the middle of that front row. He's played the full 80 minutes today. Real warrior in that front row. Either side of him, the front row replacements, Martinez and Yendel. Yendel wasn't in the 23 when it was named yesterday.
He's on the right side as well, Andrew Brace with Trevor and Kanye. This is where all the pressure will be coming through.
Set, stable.
Free kick.
Can't take the scrum.
Jaden Hendricks is just urging calm among his teammates. The tension is difficult to bear here.
They're going to have to tap and go.
We are a minute and a half into added time.
There's got to be some aggressive hits now if the Dragons want to see this game out.
This is it. This is Rourke's drift stuff. The Dragons on their try line, on their haunches, ready for one final defensive effort. Can they repel the Sharks of Durban and send them home to South Africa with nothing? This is a real test of character for the Dragons, a real test of their guts, of their composure, of their will to win. Rao, the monster in the second row, Hendrickse, who's commanded things from the base this evening. Ben Carter tries to get his hands on that, told to pull him away.
Okay, let it come.
The tension mounts at Rodney Parade.
Use it.
The chants are still ringing out. Fans urging their team to commit themselves to tackle after tackle.
Squeaky clean they've got to be as well. Any penalty, and the Dragons are going to be down a man.
Some of these Dragons forwards will have been exhausted from this defensive shift. 10 phases now. There's Shane Lewis-Hughes, another man who's put in an enormous shift this evening. The Sharks are getting closer.
Stay on, Dragons, captain. Use it.
3 minutes now of injury time. Still the Sharks come, 12 phases. Still the Dragons repel them. Can they hold them out?
No.
Any error from either side could be fatal.
And use it. No.
There's a dent.
Let it come there.
Now they're close.
Last feet, Dragons.
And Aaron Owen, bloodied as he is, on the line, desperate to repel these last surges, these charges at the line for the visiting Sharks. There's Niakane, the Springbok.
Short, no hands. No.
And Aaron Owen, blood dripping down his forehead. The epitome of a warrior. He will throw everything at this to prevent the Sharks getting over the line, but there's Esterhuizen! And there's an Aaron Owen. It's gone forwards, and it's a try at the death for the Sharks as they raise their arms aloft. Will Reid is desperately protesting, but the South African fans in the crowd are waving their flags. The drama, the tension has stretched to nearly 5 minutes into injury time. But it